Connetti il mondo.
Sevi, LnRouter.app, Switzerland.
Stephen K. Roberts became one of the founding visionaries for technology-enabled nomadism and has spent his life forging it into existence. Since the 80s, he's been a pioneer and his legacy has inspired digital nomads around the world. Did he also inspire you?
No.
Chess day is the favorite day of my weekly training schedule.
No.
If you're smart, you should be able to figure out how to be happy. Otherwise, you're not that smart. Quoted by Naval Ravikant. He's regarded globally as one of the greatest thinkers, investors, and entrepreneurs of this generation. Are you smart enough to live a happy life?
Yes.
You can wake me up for an authentic Swiss cheese fondue.
Oh yeah.
The Black Russian cocktail first appeared in 1949 and is ascribed to Gustav Tops, a Belgian barman. The cocktail owes its name to the use of vodka, a typical Russian spirit, and the blackness of the coffee liquor. Later in the 60s came the White Russian, when someone added a bit of cream to it, rendering it white. Do you prefer the creamed version instead of the black version?
Yes.
Do you have to pay taxes as a digital nomad?
Yes.
Biohacking is the optimization and modification of nature by using biology and technology. Biohacking is a topic that has caused heated ethical discussions around the manufacturable person. Would you like to be a cyborg one day?
No.
Is Lugano your favorite Swiss city?
No.
Haruki Murakami is a Japanese writer. Many of his novels have themes and titles that evoke music. Did you know that Norwegian Wood was titled after the Beatles song?
No.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Stef. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 17 of Connected World. Stef, how are you doing this week?
I'm pretty fine.
Good to see you.
Tested positive on corona this evening, but
so everything is splendid.
yeah.
No.
Well, I feel okay, man. Just a bit
nice.
of an itchy throat and a lack of energy, but I don't know if that's because of corona or my 1-year-old son, who's not
pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass sometime. This morning he woke up at 6:30, if I remember well. So yeah, could be that also. So I don't know.
I hope you don't have bad days coming to you.
Man.
But
I'm young and strong.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think
exactly.
I'll be fine, man.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, happy Nowruz. That's Persian. One of the traditions in Iran. And they say Happy New Year. Well, the March of 21, it's Happy New Year. And it means, what did I say here? New day. Yeah, exactly. New day. So no is new and Ruz is day.
So no new year, but new day then.
New day, exactly. And they celebrate, well, it's a real party. And I saw it and I thought, well, that's what we need to do someday. The party lasts no less than 13 days. So 30 days.
Okay. 13 days. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But they
perhaps
don't drink...
after your illness, then
yeah. But I guess they don't drink alcohol then, because you can't survive on alcohol for 30 days in a row.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, and Edward, I want to wish our good friend Kluk all the best Kloek obviously running the Lightning Dutch Watch node. And I saw a message yesterday that he had to close more than 1,200 channels because he had a problem with his channel database file. Luckily, he has a backup, so the money is safe. But I also saw that our channel was pending to close. I can check if it's
mine
closed
is
by now,
already
but
open. Not so many, not so long after. So I think it's
open. But
okay.
Did you already open a new channel to him? Or?
No, it's a forced close. So the channels close, and then he opens a new channel with you. So I think he's done that, and he also stated in his message that you can always contact him, of course.
Yeah. Mine is still closing.
Still closing. Yeah, so because it's a forced close, it takes longer. Mine is also still closing, but I have a new channel with him.
So but all the liquidity was at my side almost. So I think it's I will keep in contact with him. But
of course.
Yeah, I think it was. It was.
Well, we all know the stories.
And,
with this more than 1,200 channels, it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
luckily, guys, please back up your channels and also keep your seed phrase somewhere safe.
Yes.
So that if you need to recover, you'll able to recover.
Exactly. And I saw some other news that was interesting for myself. So I thought, well, maybe just tell it now. Thunder Games is releasing, or already has released, a new game, Sats. I tried to download this, but I couldn't. So I think it's going to be ready. And it's just like Snake in the old days. I really like the feel of it, so I'm waiting for it to actually be able to play it, and perhaps we can play it together.
I was thinking, I don't know if I owned a Nokia. I do remember that I owned a Sony Ericsson, but I don't know if I owned a Nokia back in the days, but. It was a very long time ago.
2 of them, and I had also one with a light in the antenna. So when I was called, the light was blinking.
All right, nice man.
Yeah. What do we have this week? I see here we are going to welcome later in this show Severin Bühler as a guest, and he's the founder of LnRouter.app, and it's a great tool that helps node operators making informed decisions, and that's very important, of course. And a little sneak peek for listeners who are tuning in. Sevi is going to give away something, and at the end, it's 2 prizes actually. So listen to the episode till the end, and then you know what it will be.
Cool. Hey, Edward, let's talk a little bit about the statistics of the Lightning Network and about our Rings of Fire community first then.
Let's do that. All right.
Let's do it.
Have fun.
Verbind de wereld.
So last week we had a little over 26.75 Bitcoin pushed into the Lightning Network, and this week we added 26 million Satoshis. So we are now over 27 Bitcoin, with around 908 members participating in over 113 rings. And I think we're now at about 27 or 28 countries involved. I saw that we just opened the 5 million Satoshi of the 10 million Satoshi's 5th ring, and I saw that someone from Iceland joined that one. So that's the first
Iceland
participant from Iceland. Yeah.
So, interesting.
Interesting.
Nice to add it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're now at block height 728,361. And there are 132 nodes more than last week if we look at Lightning Network as a whole. So more than 20,760 nodes worldwide, and with 43 Bitcoin more than last week. So we're now at 3,570 Bitcoin. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
All-time high every week now. So
today's value of 1 million Satoshis is $413,387 and 74 euros and 2,725 Chinese yuan.
Nice. Yes.
Conectar el mundo.
And for the news of this week, well, we're starting with bullish news because Malaysia Bitcoin regulated Bitcoin. The Malaysia Communication Ministry has proposed to the government that cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin be adopted as legal transfer. And the Deputy Minister of told the Parliament this on Monday. This would allow the country to follow El Salvador's footsteps, and that's interesting to follow, of course. And then,
I thought we have, of course, Gijs van Dam, one of our latest guests, living in Malaysia, so we can reach out to him if he can confirm that this is really happening and what are the odds that it will play out. Maybe interesting to ask him in the community at what.
Yeah, if it really goes the direction of El Salvador, that's interesting. Yeah, we should really ask him. Yeah, and Wasabi Wallet, the ZK Snacks is the company behind the wallet, and in an article in Bitcoin Magazine. They explain the decision to censor certain Bitcoin UTXOs from using its CoinJoin service. And they state it was voluntary and their aim is to screen out illicit types of activities. And it has no current legislation obliging them to do so. So read the article. It explains the pros and cons of this decision from Wasabi Wallet. And then El Salvador said something about the volcano bonds because there was some news about 1.5 billion demand for the volcano bonds for the 1 billion bond. And the Financial Times released an article about that subject. So read into it. I've added it to the show notes. And for the updates of this week, I saw Sparrow Wallet adds full BIP47 support and support linking and sending directly to payment codes and some fixes, bug fixes, and allow linked BIP47 contact to be renamed. Also, the URL is in the show notes. And the last thing was Sea Lightning Bolt 7 update. Sea Lightning increased the minimum number of Bolt 7 node announcement messages, and Sea Lightning will relay per node per day from 1 to 2. This may mitigate some problems related to node changing IP addresses or temporary going offline for maintenance. And Rusty Russell added also it will mitigate as well as the problem reported that some LND nodes are scheduling daily downtime, which causes 2 updates per day. So I think that's a nice one. Well, that was it for today.
Conecta el mundo.
Yes, so let's have a look at the rings forecast. I saw just before recording this show that we have a overview within our community where I can see how much spots we have left, but it isn't auto updating. So I already asked Jury to maybe bug fix this.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, we just started the 10 million Satoshis fifth ring, and I think the 500k Satoshis ring is now full. But again, we have some problems with the overview, so I can't tell more about which places we have left. So we will do that next time. Last week we balanced 3 rings. We balanced the 2 million Satoshi 17th ring with node operators from Germany, Canada, Japan, and Holland. Our 17th ring of 2 million Satoshis had a nice combination of new and familiar nodes. This time, Franco Guancanco, I think I pronounced it well, took on. Oh, you're the Spanish talking.
Franco.
Franco. Okay, it was Franco. Took on the courage to be the igniter of this ring. Although the dry runs seems to go smoothly, igniting a ring within 24 hours often can be challenging. Although the first run yesterday night, Gossip was not with us. When Franco tried the first time, it initially looked like today also wasn't our night, but a second run proved us otherwise, and the group managed to balance this ring with near 0 fees. So well done, and enjoy your freshly balanced channels. And then we had the 1 million Satoshis 30-second ring balanced with node operators from Spain, Austria, Germany, and United Kingdom, I guess. Yeah, it was United Kingdom. This one went really smooth. Prem really wanted to try to balance using his C Lightning node, but unfortunately he ran into some issues. And he already fixed that, by the way. Luckily, we had the experienced Jay Zalfa who volunteered as a step-in ring leader, and we were able to balance this ring within 20 minutes. Great team efforts. And then last but not least, we had the 5 million Satoshis 15th ring. Second one of tonight. The Max took great care of this ring, and we managed to get it balanced a couple of hours before the time we have agreed on even. Freon was very responsive. Thanks for that, and special thanks to Max for the hard work. Yeah, we had some groups because we opened all these subgroups, of course, for every ring, and we had some groups with very hyped participants who were very responsive. And I think I like that the most because then we're all hyped up, and as I just said, we even got one ring balance before the time we agreed on. So.
That's always nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It was a pretty nice week. So that was it.
So that's in the can. Thanks, Stef. And let's go to the lightning notes.
Yes, let's have one.
Conectado Lumea.
Make sure to secure your home network. So change default passwords and use two-factor authentication where possible. And keep your software up to date. It's also very important. Please keep in mind that the whole Lightning network is very experimental. Software like MyNode, Umbrel, Raspberry Blitz, for example, and many others, and LND also, are still in beta phase. Don't blindly run terminal commands on your node if you don't understand them yourself, and especially when prefixed with sudo. And the last one is also very important. Don't use Satoshis that you're not willing to lose. So if you're not aware of all security considerations, then read into it. Educate yourself, read articles, ask for help in Telegram groups with high reputation like ours, and listen to podcasts and learn by doing. Otherwise, don't participate.
Also, you can stay informed by following us on Twitter. You can find us at Satoshi Radio ROF and follow our Lightning leader, Jonī Kyasshu. Join our Telegram groups, Satoshi Radio, Ring of Fire, and Connect the World. And check our website, satoshi.radio. It would be nice for you to be part of our Amboss community. You can find us there on Satoshi Radio. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Use Podcasting 2.0 to listen to Connect the World. And you can check Sato Trading for the current value. You can find all this information, of course, also in the show notes as well.
All right, let's get on to the show.
Connectez le monde.
There we have our digital nomad, Sevi. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me, guys. I'm great. I'm good.
You're welcome.
Just here in a hotel in Turkey at the seaside. It's pretty warm compared to Northern Europe or Western Europe in general at the moment here. Yeah. So it's great.
Are you making us jealous, Sevi?
Yeah, I think so.
Like you want us to be jealous.
Look, there are upsides and downsides to this. As you might see, I have a slight sunburn over all my skin here, over all my face. So, good or bad?
But it is because you were on the Lightning Hackers Day, right? So you were behind the computer all week or all weekend, and then you have to keep your head protected against the sun, man. When you first bathing.
Yes, very white boy. The first time in the sun at the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, that's me exactly.
And I saw you on Twitter. I saw you with some music or something. You were enjoying a djembe concert there.
Oh yeah,
so it looks nice.
There was Bilal. I know, like the tambourine guy,
the meme guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was really fun. That was like really surprising because I actually showed Bilal's video my sister the Sunday before to make her show that I'm going to go to Turkey, and then Bilal shows up at the Lightning Hack Days, like at the event itself. And
it's crazy. But did somebody arrange that, or how did he come there? Or?
Yeah, so the Fulmo guys, went into contact with them, and you can basically book him for some money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very expensive for Turkish, from a Turkish point of view, but from a Western point of view, you can kind of afford that. And it was a really great event and really surprising because they basically didn't say who's going to show up. And it was really cool.
Cool, man. And
a real surprise then. Fulmo did a great job. Yeah.
did they pay him in Satoshis or just in the Turkish lira?
So the problem in Turkey is that it's forbidden to pay with crypto. So like,
okay.
You can use crypto as an investment vehicle, but you're not allowed to pay like everyday payments in crypto. So what they did is they paid him in Turkish lira, but then there was like a tipping pot, like LnRouter QR code, and then you could tip him additionally. And
cool.
I believe he received quite some money with tips as well.
Cool, man.
That's a great way to use it, I think. Yeah. Or donating or tipping.
Yeah, definitely.
And did you see some other interesting things? Because I saw the lineup there in Hack Day, and I think it looked very interesting. But you actually been there, so. It was very good. Like there were a lot of people there. I mean, Philip Shepard, you had on some episodes before. There were a lot of anonymous people on Twitter who I really like to read the Twitter feed. Like for example, Kalle, who was there, and it was really interesting to talk to all these guys. There were introductions to LDK. If you have heard of LDK, it's like the new
Lightning Development Kit.
Lightning Development Kit, exactly.
Which is actually a really impressive piece of software. I didn't know about that, I knew there is this new Lightning implementation, but I didn't know like what's special about it. And for developers, it's a really nice implementation because you can basically, you can basically manage it. You can basically manage the whole thing way better than an LND or so, and you can put it on a very, very small device and very resource safe, basically. Yeah.
And less resources than a Raspberry Pi, you mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So for example, on a smartphone or something.
Exactly. So the whole thing is, you can decide where to save like the blockchain. You can basically add a server, an external server to this LDK, and you don't need to save everything on the disk. This is like the options LDK gives you, which is awesome if you want to put it on a very, very small device.
Yeah, exactly. I was also thinking about the educational purposes of that, because there are a lot of schools that are trying to do something with it, and it would be nice to only use one blockchain for combined nodes or something, and 20 nodes with one blockchain. It's much easier than to have it all on one device. That's not very efficient.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the constraining thing right now, isn't it?
Nice.
Like, blockchain is huge.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it will grow eventually.
Exactly. Lugano recently announced that Bitcoin will be legal tender over there. You are from Switzerland, of course.
Yeah.
Was this something you'd expect?
Yes and no. I mean, the whole thing, the Lugano thing is, they say plan B in Bitcoin and blah, 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 but it's like a crypto move in general. And Swiss cities, I mean, we have Zug, the crypto valley, which is already pushing into this direction. And I believe there will be more and more Swiss cities to go this route. We will see how much Bitcoin there will be.
Because they also added Tether, and I saw also a Lugano coin or something, which they created themselves, or
maybe.
And the announcement was also made combined with the CEO of Tether, right? So it's I don't know. It could be publicity, but it's interesting that it is in Europe and that there are some forces that are working on that, I think. But
I mean, I believe compared to a lot of other countries in Europe, Switzerland is really pro crypto, which is a big exception. I mean, as far as I know, at least. I mean, especially with the talks right now to restrict crypto because of the war in Russia and stuff. Like Switzerland it's kind of a fresh breeze in this way. But yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But I think it's for the adoption. It needs to be legal tender somehow. So I think it's going into the right direction.
And for the Bitcoin community, it's very interesting that there is some movement. But of course, in the end, only the real good intentions are going to be visible. So I don't know.
Switzerland actually has a very interesting history with alternative currencies. So, for example, my father was always he's his own business, he's doing construction work and stuff, and he was using a certain currency that was only used between businesses to, improve and basically to improve the capital flow between businesses in Switzerland, which is very interesting, which a lot of people don't know that Switzerland had that for a long time.
Cool, hey, cool,
interesting.
Man. Hey, but guys, let's talk a bit more about Lightning Network and of course about LnRouter, because we have all these questions we want to ask you, Sevi, but it has to be in the part we call the 21 minutes. So if you are ready, Sevi, and of course Edward, let's enter that part, guys. Are you ready?
Perfect. Let's start.
Cool.
All right, let's do it.
世界をつなぐ
Yeah, the Lightning Network. Well, perhaps first a question about the future. How do you see the future of public Lightning nodes? Do you think it's important that everyone will own one, or maybe even web-based as some kind of service in the cloud? Well, we were talking about this earlier, but what's your take on it?
We'll see. I don't believe everybody will own their own Lightning node Raspberry Pi at home. I don't believe this will be the future, because there are so many people that are technically not that good that they can actually run their own node at home. Like my grandma, for example, nice, but she just can't do it. So I believe the future will be something like we have a web server somewhere in the cloud. Maybe it's at Google, maybe it's a Blockstream or wherever, and we will just have the keys on our phone and basically remote control our wallet in the cloud. I believe this will be the future. And then it's basically, if you want to do a transaction in the Lightning Network, you're going to sign the transaction on your phone, and then it will be sent to the cloud, and then everything will be executed. I believe this is the most probable future.
So that's another step forward than I think Voltage is offering the web-based cloud version of Lightning Node. But like you're saying that it will be less complex actually. So you're not managing a node, but you're only managing a wallet that is attached to a node that you own yourself, but is cloud-based or something.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. I believe Blockstream Greenlight is going into this direction, as far as I know. And I hear a lot of other wallet creator that this is the potential future that we will see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, and running a fast and secure Lightning node is, of course, great. But what is the safest way to run a Lightning node on ClearNet?
So ClearNet has some dangers. It really depends where you are. If, like, I am Swiss, I trust my government. I trust the ISP that they don't hand out my address and family details and whatever. But not everybody lives in a safe country. So depending on your risk model, basically, there is a way to you set up your node at home, and then you set up a server in the cloud or wherever you want to have it hosted, and then you use a proxy VPN, like something like this, that forwards all the traffic via this cloud server to your node back and forth. So you basically have the IP address of the cloud exposed, and not your personal IP address at home.
Yeah. And what do you see as the most important feature for the Lightning Network that is currently missing?
I mean, there are two. I would really like to see liquidity ads succeeding, to at least to some extent to get away from these custodial liquidity solutions we have. I mean, these liquidity solutions are great. They really solve a problem in the Lightning Network. Like it's Alembic, it's Pool, other things. Yeah. But if we have a decentralized marketplace, that would be great. That would be really great. Then you can choose. Then there's actually a real competition between them, and then you can just choose the node you want to get liquidity from, and it could be basically every node in the network.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And the second one you're
That's
missing?
Interesting.
Oh yeah, the second one is pathfinding functions right now. So your Lightning node tries to search a path through the network. Unfortunately, these pathfinding algorithms, they optimize for fees only at the moment. So they just try to search the cheapest route possible. And I believe we need to optimize these pathfinding algorithms to add node response times and just like payment speed basically in there. So like right now, the average payment takes 8.6 seconds or so. It was like a test that C Lightning did, Christian Decker, and 8.6 seconds is just too slow, in my opinion, for everyday use.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
if you compare it with all systems that exist, with fiat money, then this is far too long. Yeah,
exactly. So I want to see way faster payments, and for that we need to bias pathfinding to nodes that also provide fast payments.
Yeah. So then you maybe pay some more Satoshis for your transaction, but it will be more efficient.
Yes, I mean you will have a lever. Like routing nodes will probably choose, like routing nodes, if they do rebalances, they don't care if it takes 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. They will just go for the lowest amount of fees. But if you are in a store paying your groceries in front of a queue where everybody else also wants to pay, you want to have faster payments.
Yeah, exactly. In that use case, it's very necessary.
And we have a lot of people who are just starting with their node and maybe want to be a routing node or something. But what was the biggest problem you encountered when you were setting up your node?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting story. So so this story actually leads to why I built LnRouter.
Cool.
So I tried to set up a Lightning node. I wanted just to explore a little bit, like what is this? That was like my first, was like 1.5 years ago or so, and I opened a channel to 1ML. You probably know this node, and it didn't work. Like I couldn't send a payment, nothing, just didn't work, and I didn't know what's going on. And like it was a huge black box, and like what? Don't know. So I opened the issue in the Lightning node implementation, and was like, "Hey guys, I opened a channel. I actually opened two, one to 1ML and the other one to Game B, which is the same shitty node in the network that just doesn't forward payments." And then I figured out, like, depending on the channel balances on a routing node, there is a higher or a lower chance that this Lightning node can actually forward a payment. And this then led to more or less the first version of LnRouter, because I didn't want other people to have the same experience, Lightning experience, sending payments like I did at the beginning.
Yeah, and that is very funny. Yeah, we talk about it a lot, but we see, you and also Tom from Setsback.com and all the other geniuses who are creating stuff, and, always create stuff because they are missing it, and that is their incentive to start with. A website or application such as yours. So that's very funny to see, and I think it makes sense also, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, now we're talking about LnRouter.app. You collect a lot of data with your website about the Lightning Network, so you learn a lot, of course. And what's the most remarkable thing you discovered about nodes or the network?
So, I mean, the most remarkable thing is basically that there are really, really good routing nodes, and that there are really, really bad routing nodes in this network. And this is from a liquidity perspective, which I basically just mentioned before. But also this is about response times. Like on LnRouter, it's channel response times. It's basically, so the average payment to go from your node to the destination node takes about 3 hops, so it takes 3 channels, and one channel can have 0.2 second response time, or one channel can have 4+ seconds response time. And if you hit these 4+ second response time channels often enough, then your payment will just be very, very slow. And that was one thing at the beginning when I started to do these response time measures. I was actually not really believing. I was like, probably my algorithms are somehow wrong. Like, I do these response time measurements completely wrong. But turns out, there are some nodes that are really, really slow. And it has potentially several reasons. But I mean, one reason is Tor.
Yeah.
But we basically know that by now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about it, and
And the other reasons, what are the other reasons that can take a part in that?
The other reason, so one reason is the channel DB. So it's basically the database where all the payments and all the secrets are saved, and these databases, they can grow. And if you don't care about the size of these databases, and especially when you run it on a Raspberry Pi, which is not the most powerful node, then this will make your node very, very slow. So I have an example. I know a routing node that had a response time of, let's say, 0.5 seconds. But because this routing node operator started to do rebalances, and at this point the channel DB started to grow, this went up to 20+ seconds.
Yeah, crazy.
It's just
It's not suitable for your day-to-day use, right? I mean,
and I think now also that it's because of the hardware, it could be the problem, but also that you're solving a problem if you try to change the hardware. But the problem is also with the growing channel DB size. So also within the protocol, maybe to be able to change multiple things and not only the hardware, of course.
Yeah.
So that could be difficult, Definitely. And we also know LN Node Insights from Small World, and there are a lot of more usable websites to find some data. What's the biggest difference between LnRouter and LN Node Insights, for example?
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for Small World LND, who is running LN Insights, but I believe small world uses a lot of heavy CPU power to do the very, very expensive graph optimization algorithms. And LnRouter, compared to that, tries to build a very smooth UI, which uses some graph algorithms to bring the best channel recommendations for a service, for a merchant, also for routing, to some extent for routing nodes, so they can have very, very fast payments.
Yeah.
That is
cool.
the goal.
Yeah.
Hey, and well, the channel recommender on LnRouter can improve the graph of position of a node with high quality peers. How does it work, and what data does it take into account?
Yes. So the channel recommender uses two techniques. One technique is the LnRouter routing score, which basically models how fast a node can forward a payment to every other node in the network. It's basically it's a judge of the payment speed. And the other part is the graph position optimizer. It's basically it goes through all the nodes with a good routing score that would potentially improve your graph position. But I mean, what does improving graph position mean? Like, it's a nice word, but it basically makes sure that you use the least amount of channels to send a payment. Because if you are badly connected with the network, then you maybe need 5 or 6 hops to every other node in the network. But the graph position optimizer optimizes your position in the network, so you only need 2 or 3 hops to every node. And this saves fees for services merchants. This saves fees for routing nodes that need to rebalance their channels. And it also, because less channels are involved and less nodes, it makes your payment automatically faster.
Yeah, and that's something you are really focused on. I know by now. I think speed is something you really want to have improved, right? I think it's your main goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe the Lightning Network is slow. I believe there needs to be a lot of research done to improve the speed. It's not an easy problem, but that's actually what I wanted to tackle. It's it's a real problem in the Lightning Network.
Yeah, I think it makes a huge difference if you compare it to other systems. So it's a very important thing. I saw in the Lightning recommender the option for decentralization, and now when you're saying what you just said, I'm thinking, is it a good idea to hit that button, decentralization? Because then it will, the channel recommender will search for smaller nodes. And is that then the right way to optimize your position in the graph and to optimize the speed?
Yes. So please do. Let's say like this. If you only open one channel, maybe don't hit this button. Because then you want to get to the best node in the whole network. If you have to open 10 channels or so, then please hit this button to I believe the Lightning Network might have not a problem, but has a tendency to go for big nodes. And small nodes might miss out in the future, especially when the competition between routing nodes gets more fierce because there is more capital flowing in and people optimizing for fees. So I really would appreciate if a lot of people would hit this support decentralization button.
It's something similar with our project. Of course, the Rings of Fire project is also all about decentralization and people opening channels to each other and really helping to grow the network in a decentralized way. So
Yeah, and searching for nodes that you're not connected to, especially in a more physical distance. I also think about René Picard said the physical channel distance. Is that also something that's important? So the physical distance to your node?
Yes, I also wanted to mention that. So René came up with a great feature. I mean, let's see how, if you're able to use this feature also in the Lightning Network, like for pathfinding functions. But René basically came up with the physical channel distance. So if you're a node in North America, and if you are a node in Taiwan, Asia, and you have a channel together, then because of this physical distance, the payment will take quite some time to go back and to go one way from North America to Taiwan. And what we will probably see in the future, is 2 layers of the Lightning Network. Like you have basically 2 types of channels. One channel is one type of channel is a regional channel. So basically you have a regional node that is connected to all businesses in your region that provides very fast payments in your region. And you have, I call them Autobahn channels, that connect the global network, so you can actually do payments all over the planet. And this would optimize payment speed.
But then
and if you use VPN...
Oh, sorry, I told you.
Sorry?
No, doesn't matter. I was thinking if you use a VPN, then you have the physical distance could be bogus, could be something that's not working. But I don't know. It's an interesting thought, I think. Yeah.
Sure.
And what was your question, Stef?
No, I was thinking then if you have those big channels connected to intercontinental, for instance, then they somehow need to process multiple transactions at the same time, right? Because otherwise, it is like a single point of failure, or can be a single point of failure. Or how do you see that?
I mean, the whole network will still be decentralized. You will not just be connected to this one node, but to 10 nodes that offer the same service. And then you might have, I don't know, 100 Autobahn channels to all over the planet. So decentralization will not be affected, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, I have one question about the decentralized marketplace you've made to get inbound liquidity at the best price. How does it work?
So it basically lists all nodes that provide basically a channel lease. So you have a dual funded channel which has balances on both sides. And on this decentralized marketplace, you can input how much Satoshis you want to have in your channel. And then you see the price of different nodes that provide this amount of Satoshis to your channel.
Yeah. That's
cool.
That's a nice feature. Yeah.
But I think I already used the channel recommender, and I think that is something that is really it's awesome. And I also heard you, Edward, you were checking it out, and you were saying, "Wow, this is what we need, right?"
Yeah, this is really this is so worthwhile, and I was changing also for a better position in the graph, or connected to a better node, and then you see the differences that occur, not with the top position, but with the second or third channel recommendation. There I saw the real changes. I think that's really interesting, and a lot of our listeners could take a look at it and use it, I think.
Cool. Yeah, very nice to hear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for all those answers. We had a lot of questions, and we didn't ask them all. So it would be great if you would come back another time in another show someday.
I would love to.
Cool.
Great.
Conectar el mundo.
And Sevi, last week we had Hakuna, an IT specialist from Germany with a very successful routing node. You already met, you spoke to each other, you told us in the pre-interview. We asked Hakuna to come up with a question for you. Edward will play it, and then you may answer it. For us.
There it comes.
So, Sevi, if you think about in the next 3 to 5 years, the Lightning Network will continue attract and pick up steam, but we will also see lots of liquidity and lots of interest coming in from venture capitalists and from big corp players who wanted to join the game and bring connectivity and liquidity. What do you think are the pros and cons of those big players joining in, and what are some potential knock-on effects for your regular mom and pop, Jane and Joe node runners? How will they be affected?
Hey, good. So when there's a lot of capital flowing in from big companies, I believe there are upsides and downsides to this. Upside is we can finally transact really, really big payments. We have picker payments already, or soon, hopefully. But then we will probably be able to send $1 million USD over the Lightning Network. Who knows? Really, really big payments, which I really hope for. But one downside, which I see the Lightning Network will probably face, I'm not sure about this, but might face that the competition between routing nodes will get more fierce. It will get for small routing nodes that maybe have 1 Bitcoin on their node, it will get harder and harder to compete, in my opinion. Not sure, but that's what my intuition tells me.
You mean to compete? You mean to stay profitable then? Because you can always lower your fees and still route some transactions, but not. Yeah, maybe you're not profitable at the moment then.
Yes, you can always do what zero-fee routing does. But it's you will not learn a lot.
I was thinking of an older episode with Alex Bosworth, and he was also saying that in the end, the bigger routing nodes or the bigger nodes will be the only ones to actually be able to be the backbone of the Lightning network. And then with your own node, you can do your microtransactions, but it's not that you have a competing chance. Yeah.
This is
interesting. Well, and next time we have a new guest. His name is Rusty Russell, and he's a Linux and Bitcoin developer and a Lightning OG from Blockstream. We want to ask him a question from you. Do you have a question for him?
Yes, I have a question for him. I'm actually a big admirer of his work.
Cool.
So, Rusty, what do you think is a good payment speed in the Lightning Network in the future? What's the maximum value of payment speed we should have in the future? When I go back to the example I made before, if you stand in a grocery store, you have a big queue behind you, and when you want to pay your bills, what's a good payment speed?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's all about speed this week.
Yeah, the less the better. No, but I really feel your concern. We have dinner. We had dinner a couple of times here with a group of our podcast in a restaurant nearby. And then you can pay with Bitcoin over there. So we all use our own nodes to pay. Normally, one guy pays and then sends the other guys the part they have to pay, of course. But now we have all our own nodes. Everyone wants to pay themselves, of course. But the waiter is maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes to 2 minutes behind us at the table, scanning all these QR codes, waiting. Sometimes less than a second, sometimes 10 seconds. And I really feel your concern, man, on that part. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Verbind de wereld.
And this week we have something special because we had in episode 1 a prize that's still running. So check it out. It was an annual subscription to Klook Lightning Watch bot, and it's still in place. So if you are listening to this, please join our Connect the World Telegram group. And if you're the 500th member, then you're the lucky one. And if that we hit the 500, then we're also going to give one subscription to another person. So that's great. And this week we have a prize from you, Sevi, that we are able to give away. So thank you in advance. What is it what we're going to give away?
Yeah, so LnRouter is providing 2 free-month subscription to the winner of the next what is it, quiz or
prize of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. I think it's again, it's for the ones who are starting building their routing node. It is a tool you can't miss. So so amazing, man. Two times. So
I'm only using my trial version now, and it's
but
really amazing what I learned.
That's not
no,
fair.
Of course.
you just have to pay, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad to.
Yeah. Hey,
no, but it's great.
And in order to able to win this, guys, what do you need to do? Well, you need to like and retweet the announcement of this episode on Twitter by Jonī Kyasshu, and that is our Lightning leader. So again, it's Jonī Kyasshu, and it's a bit hard to pronounce. Just check our show notes because we will link to that profile, and he is always announcing all our episodes. So please follow him and like and retweet that announcement of this episode, and then you are running for winning one of those 3-month subscriptions from Sevi. Great.
Yep.
Perfect.
Connect o mundo.
Thanks, Sevi, for being with us. We just said LnRouter.app, so I think everybody can find it. Is there some other way to stay up to date from updates from LnRouter or something on Twitter
or yourself? Telegram? What is your own your own channels?
Or yourself, of course.
Sure.
If there are fans out there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, first, thanks for having me here. If you want to get some updates from LnRouter or from me personally, I have a Twitter account. It's Severin B. And there is also a Twitter account of LnRouter, which is simply LnRouter. I'm sure you will find it. And that's it.
Great.
Cool, man.
We will put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
so that's
thanks. And don't forget to use your sun cream tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe tomorrow is raining though, so I might be lucky.
Cool. Cool.
For us, it's raining every day.
Hey, thanks for joining, man. Nice to meet you.
And, thank you very much
for an awesome
for
job, man.
Having me.
Thanks.
Cool.
And thanks for listening, and thanks to all members participating in the Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us. If you want to support us in our mission to connect the world, then you can donate using the bot in our Telegram group. And don't forget to like and share our content on your favorite platform or Podcasting 2.0. Keep those notes running, guys and girls, and sets flowing and rings burning. And see you all next week with Rusty Russell on this same Lightning channel. Arrivederci, Sevi.
Arrivederci.
Ciao, guys.